like, you know, all the other, Jose Canseco's ex-wife. Like, let's stop pretending like we're canceling these people. You know, how are you a wife to a person who's peeing on 14-year-olds and you get a reality show contract on VH1? Like, how is this even possible?
That's fucking sick. But I'll leave you with this though, bro, because you gotta understand. Like, I'm gonna tell you this from my experiences, because the type of I play college football at a pretty high level, and you know I've been invited to parties, and you know, I ain't stay too long to see none of that shit. You get what I'm saying? Because you know I know how the shit gets. You know what I'm saying? So the Puffy situation, people like him, you know, that's just the industry. For example, right? Now, I'm not gonna just be the guy and say, oh, he's a fucking, he's the black guy, he got put down for it. Because you know people gonna say that, because he's black. No, he went too far with it. He thought he couldn't be fucking touched. You get what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong, Hollywood, whatever the fuck you wanna call it, let's freak the fuck out. About 95% of the motherfuckers I meet, some fucking freaky individuals, first of all, because anytime you talk to somebody and he sounds like a woman and he's a grown-ass man, I'm already questioning everything about that man anyway. So we gonna just fucking just start.
Are you a man? Why are you talking to him?
Huh?
Why are you talking to a man that is
just keep going, Papa, keep going.
No, I was just saying the people I've ran into. Like, you know, you meet people everywhere, okay? Somebody comes up to you and say, hey, you know, and they talk to you, and then, you know, you catch the vibes off of first interactions with people. And I'm just saying that's how Hollywood is. It's Hollywood for a reason. So everything that Diddy's doing has been done behind the scenes for many years. It's just coming to the forefront because he kind of went over the wall with it, especially with the beating on Cassie situation. That's when a lot of them people that was in Diddy's corner with those freak-offs and that other shit, bro, they bailed on him. Like LeBron James, fucking Jay-Z, Beyonce, all these powerful people that people idolize bailed on P. Diddy because the situation that he put them in by putting his hands on her. Now, if that tape never came to the forefront, we wouldn't even be talking about this shit today, because Diddy will still be freaking people as we speak. It will still be an oil epidemic going on in that White House as we speak. You get what I'm saying?
You know, like what's crazy with that is that tape, they released the tape, and now they can't charge him for it because it's past the statute of limitations. But the first thing I thought when I heard that, I was like, wait a second. So the people in that fucking hotel had the tape. The security guards obviously had the tape. Puff Daddy's fucking security had the tape. Whatever. Everyone knew that tape, right? They kept it under wraps. And then now
she got $10 million from the hotel.
Hold on, guys.
Yeah, the hotel.
And I got another thing to say. Let me add one thing.
He paid the hotel.
Guys, I'm not saying I'm dumb enough to not understand why it was under the wraps. What I'm pointing out.
Cassie admitted on the stand that she got $10 million from the hotel.
Look, I'm into this game.
White cracker piece of shit.
People are forgetting the simple fact, bro, that even though a lot of his charges right now are getting dropped, them are just stacked charges that the feds throw into you to see if they take the bait, right? You know, sometimes a lot of cases you'll see extra charges be added on and they fall off all the time, right? This charge has not fallen off for a fucking reason. Anytime you get charged with fucking necromancy, my nigga, death, like you're fucking with dead people, you're fucking with dead people.
You're making magic.
He's doing magic with dead people.
He's being charged with necromancy?
He's not being charged with
necromancy. We're being trolled right now.
That's not. Now look. I'm down for Diddy going to prison, but necromancy, come on, man. Now we got.
He's getting charged with that.
We got
that one hasn't been charged.
Man.
Well, I think you're on a roll.
Wait, in what jurisdiction?
I seen necromancy when it first hit the scene. They added it as one of his.
I mean, brother,
it hasn't been
brother.
That one hasn't been mentioned.
Brother, you can if he was charged with necromancy, I think we would all know that.
I think
that's something that.
Go look it up.
That would be.
I'm just telling you.
I'm
telling you, if y'all didn't see that, if y'all haven't seen that. That was one of the original charges that he got hit with. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm gonna say this though. I'm surprisingly, man, I actually agree with everything that Adam said in regards to this case. Like, everything he said was spot on. I don't know how we can even spin it any other way.
What about
my only contribution to it?
Did you agree with what I said?
I mean,
That's not responsible.
Somebody said
I said that.
That's crazy.
Mickey,
No, I said that. I said that that these RICO charges were a bunch of horseshit, and that doesn't mean that he's innocent, but it means that the Injustice Department is doing their thing again. Like,
Okay.
See, I disagree right there.
From my understanding of RICOs, what I've seen with my own experience with family members, yeah, I think this was kind of weird to throw a RICO at them. I mean, I felt like that was just their way of trying to get something to stick on him. But he's definitely not innocent in the sense of traditionally being innocent. He might not be.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
so
the
no,
thing
I
about
agree with
RICO
what you said.
charges, though. Like, RICO charges are like, that's literally what the government throws at people. Exactly what you said, to make something stick because they don't have anything concrete.
And then it's a combination of things. It's not like it's just one thing.
But
It's
the
a
thing is, like,
combination of
it's
they make up
literally,
shit as they go with a RICO.
they totally make it up as they go with a RICO. Like, that is what they're, if you get charged with RICO, it's because they don't have a specific instance, so they're going to charge you with the big umbrella of, like, what do you mean? They literally invented these charges to get Al Capone.
okay,
Like,
let's
they
talk.
invented them.
Because they're pieces
Let's
of
talk
shit.
about this. Hold on. So I got the 5 charges. Hold on, Mike. So I got the 5 charges. Okay, the necromancy claim comes from a TikTok video. That's not true. So the first charge is racketeering conspiracy. The second is sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. The third is sex trafficking by force, fraud, or coercion. The fourth is transportation to engage in prostitution. And the fifth is transportation to engage in prostitution. So, and just to be clear, racketeering charges are for when you're running like a criminal enterprise. It's another level that he's orchestrating it as a criminal enterprise where he has other people working with him to do to enforce this coercion. He has paid people or hired people, or he has people. So there's another. It's not just like another level umbrella. It's that he's running an organized operation committing these crimes.
Well, they just dropped the sex trafficking charge, and what's the other one they just dropped? It's another one they just dropped that fell off too. The one that the just named. He's only charged
No, hold on. I gotta have the angel guy over. He's gonna kill me if I don't let her go. Go ahead, Angel.
Okay, so I know that Anthony is no longer in the room, but he did mention that Trump would pardon R. Kelly and he would also pardon Diddy, and I really wish he was here because I just...
go get some baby oil.
Sorry about that.
Oh my god.
I really just wanted to kind of get, like an overview of the political lens that he's looking through. I love that Ricky kind of touched on that, and it did bring an element of, understanding for me. I'm with Adams on this one. There's no excuse here, and I'd like to just hang on Trump's words for a minute that he said he will look at the facts, because if you are to take an understanding of what is actually being here, and I think Joe just was nice enough to talk about the charges, we're talking about racketeering, we're talking about sex trafficking, we're talking about prostitution and the elements that have come along with this. And what I've heard, and I really haven't been watching this case, to be quite honest with you, just some of the things that I've heard that this man is up against speak very loud. I mean, we have to, just for 1 second, I'm born and raised American. And when I think about Donald Trump and all that he's been through, he knows firsthand what it's like to be publicly attacked and judged unfairly. I think he shares, some similar shoes as Diddy in regards to this, this public nuisance. But these are really serious, inhumane acts that have been committed. And the description of those they run into a farther detail than many of us could just sit here and just kind of gossip about. I honestly don't think that Trump, as the American president, and just even if he wasn't, I don't think that he would look at the facts and make the decision to say, hey, you know what? I think in R. Kelly's case, despite what he's been convicted of, the sex trafficking, the coercion, the exploitation, the abuse and power, I'm just going to give him the opportunity. I don't think he's going to say the same thing for Diddy either. Now, Diddy has yet, unlike R. Kelly, he has yet to be convicted or charged with anything, or convicted. R. Kelly is the only one in these two examples that has actually been convicted. If Trump decided to, give any interest in this, I think he would try to take a look at this from a lens going back to maybe where Anthony was coming from, the political standpoints, and how this can impact, our future. And I just wanted to disagree with him one more time, but I'll say it when it comes back.
Angel, the only time that things like this are actually Trump would do it is to say, hey, hello, Miss and Mr. Horrific Injustice Department in Georgia, Miss or Mr. Horrific Justice Department throughout each of the states that's involved here. This is wrong, and it's really a stretch for him to go out of his way and pardon these absolute monsters. And I'm not saying that everything that Diddy is charged of he did. I'm saying the exact opposite. But he's still a piece of shit. And so when you go and you look at what the president might pardon, he's looking more for people who walked into January 6th with a flag on their shirt.
I did make a motion.
Respectful
Something
and
I don't know
courtesy
if you
to
would like for me to
the
withdraw
police
that motion.
officers and pardoning them. Not pieces of human garbage that had freak-off parties and a million underage women and fucked a whole bunch of other men, etc. Like, I just can't see it. I can't.
I agree with that. I think that he for if this request ever came across the table.
The 9/11 is happening. Be quiet. Go back to the TSA, bro. Read the room.
I was waiting for the Allah Akbar, but I realized he had like a Jamaican accent.
Angel, can I say something? Can I say something?
Yeah.
So, you were such, a breath of fresh air on this app that, I'm just gonna say this. I feel like one of the most.
There's so many rooms going on in this room today.
One of the most upsetting things about this is, this whole Diddy situation is the fact that nobody wants to talk about Kim Porter. Kim Porter was one of the best mothers in Hollywood. One of the best mothers in Hollywood, and nobody ever wants to talk about it. So the fact that, everybody wants to show up. No. Who's trolling? Who's trolling? Who's trolling? I'm not trolling. I'm definitely not trolling. The fuck are you talking about? I'm definitely not trolling. So again, right? So Kim Porter, that black woman, okay, which was the only victim, in my personal opinion, in this whole entire fiasco, that woman's name is not being said in this as much as it should. People talking about Tupac, people talking about... Yeah, right. So again, when we look at racketeering, when we look at elements of federal crimes, listen, how far did this go? I mean, Kim Porter was just in Africa, okay, a couple of weeks before she actually died. Do y'all know that? So again, I grew up in Southern California. I know who the fuck Kim Porter is. So again, the fact that people are not actually protecting that black woman while also saying that, oh, we're going to protect Diddy in this fake freaking black outrage. Like, stop it. Y'all hate black women.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie to you, man. I ain't gonna lie, it's just fuck, man. It's just an epidemic of
You sound like a liberal faggot from the
I'm gonna tell you right now. Hey, gang, hold on, Russ, man. Listen. Yeah. We're in an epidemic right now because there's two freaky fucks that are asking for pardons to be let back in society.
Thank you.
Only R. Kelly. Only R. Kelly's legal team has actually submitted a request for pardon. Diddy, obviously, he hasn't been convicted of anything at this point, but people are saying, you know, like, what if, you know, this was to come across his table? Would Trump even, you know, what would Trump do? But I guess it was
you know what's crazy?
And Trump did say that he'll take a look at the facts, and I love that he said that.
But he doesn't need to look at the facts. The facts is, what are these two freak fucks going to help society with, gang? First of all, Diddy has to be a fucking artist in 20 years that's fucking this.
Man, fuck all that. Fuck all that. Let's talk about the street politic, okay? Kim Porter is the best fucking mother, okay, in Hollywood, other than fucking Kathy Hilton, okay? Everybody fucking knows this shit, okay? Y'all may think that I'm trolling or there's some other weird shit. Kim Porter is arguably one of the best mothers in Hollywood. One of the best mothers in Hollywood.
It's crazy. Next to Kathy Hilton.
Yes. Kathy Hilton is an exceptional mother.
No one could believe this restored
exceptional mother.
When he revealed his discovery, everyone was in utter shock. This very old statue of Hercules had stood in the museum for over 50 years, but no one paid much attention to it due to the dark residue left after a lightning strike. However, when it was decided to remove the layer of wax applied during a previous restoration in the 19th century, a gilded coating was discovered beneath it, something even historians were unaware of. But the most astonishing discovery was a hole found by one of the restorers. Inside the statue was a cavity filled with scrolls containing dates and prophecies from the past. The scholars who began translating these mysterious scrolls were in complete shock at what was written there. No one could believe.
It's fucking crazy.
She's a slut. And then the thing is, fucking R. Kelly, fucking. I love this music. That's why I'm so fucking pissed about R. Kelly, man, because listening to him tell me that he's sleeping with little girls, bro. He's sleeping with little kids when he's making music. The song was fucking fire. The song, he was telling on himself.
It's getting super hard down there.
It's in the song.
That's what happens when you listen to certain music,
Go back and listen to the song. It's telling you what he was doing. Like, even fucking, I even take you to another name. Who made the song? You may be young, but you're ready. Not Beyonce, but Beyonce. Keith Sweat was telling you she's young, but she's ready. They should have told people, like, hey, what the fuck? You been sleeping
By the way, his ex-wife ended up on the Real Housewives of Atlanta first season. Shout out to Lisa. So again, at the end of the day, y'all will glorify any shit as opposed to protecting actual black women. Kim Porter never wanted to go on reality TV. Kim Porter never wanted to go on reality TV. That black woman was always natural. No, the fuck she didn't.
I have a hard time trying to protect life. I gotta be honest.
Oh my God.
Y'all gonna protect whole ass Kathy over Kim Porter. This is crazy.
Hey,
Kim Porter, your favorite black woman.
and we all know this, man. She's a fucking whore. She's a class B slut. And she sit there and let this man, she helped this man fuck countless of men. And fucking, I don't even think there was women in the fucking room when the whore was
Thank you.
Talking about right now.
We're talking about Cassie.
No, who's he talking about?
He's talking about Cassie.
Cassie assisted Diddy in fucking countless men. Because even there was women in the room.
The other one with Epstein.
I don't think this man got caught with 1,000 brothers.
That's what I was
He needs to be
thinking.
crucified.
She's Ghislaine Maxwell. That's exactly who Cassie is.
Man,
Cassie is Ghislaine.
That's
Everybody's funny and quiet except for with the oil.
She just got a little more rhythm.
The new
You didn't see Kim Porter doing no shit like
Kim Porter, Cassie is the new age Bonnie and Clyde with baby oil. I'm just gonna say because her and Diddy, they were fucking countless number of million.
You can't have Bonnie and Clyde. There are.
No, but see, y'all just want to indict black women so badly. So again, Cassie, that's an Asian woman. That's an Asian Latina woman. Y'all wanted to indict a black woman so badly, right? So again, the real victim is Kim fucking Porter, right?
Porter.
Thank you. So the fact that y'all talking and making this Diddy shit about black women, this shit has nothing to do with black women.
Why are there 50 people talking at one time? I'm not. This is matchroom.
Motherfucker. Bye, everybody.
That's what we're doing.
Bye, asshole.
No,
I didn't know.
Indian guy, we're
Back to stage, guys. Come on.
projecting your fucking
Can we talk about Kim Porter again?
No, hold on.
Believe it's okay with KB.
Did you say about JB?
Yeah. Hold on. We just need a little intermission. We need to clear up an allegation while we have Necro and Marshall in the room. Marshall, Necro alleged that you attended a No Kings rally. Is he lying or is he telling the truth?
I walked around my local No Kings rally, yeah. A bunch of cops, nice people, DPS, folks like that. So.
That's okay.
You didn't do anything
like that.
Oh, shit.
So yeah, it's true.
In fact, the only person that got in trouble at our No Kings rally was a guy in a MAGA hat. He lit up a joint in front of a cop and thought he was going to get away with it, so the cop arrested him.
So you were.
Shit.
Seriously, that was the only person that got in trouble.
So I gotta ask you a question, Marshall. Are you a part of the police department anywhere?
No, never been a police officer.
Just get real
Marshall, did you take part in the chant that someone would say, hey, hello?
No,
Shut up, Marshall. Did you bow down before any black people? I need to know the answer to that.
Did you
What is your sign?
I didn't run into any black people to protest. I ran into lots of Hispanic folks.
Marshall, quick question, Marshall.
To protest,
Marshall,
Marshall.
I'm not calling you racist and I'm not saying that. All right, but Marshall, you just have the face.
Marshall, where were you
Who was
doing
at the
TikTok?
protest that you ran into?
So, do you get me?
Who was at the protest?
The person I ran into got arrested, parked close to where I parked. He was a dude with a vest carrier and a MAGA hat. And for some reason, the guy decided, because he was at a local protest, I guess, that it was cool to light up a joint. And there was a cop not 20 feet away, and the cop came and arrested him.
Where was
And I'm like, I didn't see anybody else get
What were the
arrested.
people like at the protest?
We love you, Marshall.
Who made up the crowd?
Marshall, are you a troll?
Marshall, what was the crowd like?
Was it Mexican? Was it white people and Europeans? Was it white?
Yeah, mostly Hispanic folks.
Was it Cassie's family or Marshall? That's what we want to know.
I mean, they're pretty peaceful.
Did smell that there, Marshall?
What's the how were the empanadas?
So Marshall, wait, guys. So would it be fair to say that Marshall, you bonded with a certain type of population that's come into the country, and you feel a certain type of way based on your bonding with that said population? Can we just agree to disagree on that? No, but I'm saying, like, can we agree to disagree on that?
Again, given that all the people I met were American citizens, I think that the point is bullshit. I didn't meet anybody that was from fucking Mexico.
So, Marshall, why don't you change your voter registration then?
Texas, my registration has been a Republican.
Okay, so,
fucking team. What the hell are you
but it's not.
Yes,
The same tone and rhetoric that you just...
record since I was 18. I served in a Republican capacity in a local...
Marshall, I just admitted on this very stage, I voted for Obama because of its immigration policy. So again, Marshall, let's be consistent. Let's be consistent. Let's be consistent.
And to be frank, I don't need you to fucking touch your finger at me. It's bullshit. I wouldn't do that.
This is an intermission, Marshall. Marshall, this is an intermission, Marshall.
Don't bother, Marshall.
I just want to ask, really, why is it always assumed that people who think Trump is poisonous for the Republican Party, why are they automatically said they're not a Republican? I mean, the Republican Party is just Trump.
Okay, but you have to understand, Necro, his line as somebody who's contradicting themselves ends as somebody coming over the border.
I get.
Your line ends at you killing babies in the womb. So again, we just went through this. We just went through this.
Necro, how did you get rid of the like that?
Leave without immigration law, and you're doing so intentionally, and you know you're misrepresenting me. That is never been my view.
So, Marshall,
I'm not misrepresenting you.
Marshall, what I'm getting from this is, Marshall, so basically you agreed with the deportation.
I was one of the only people in this room to actually defend you.
Marshall, is that true? You agree with the deportation laws? That's something that you agree with?
Yes, of course. If you're in this country illegally, you should be deported. Like, I've never said
Okay,
anything.
so you agreed with it, but you go to bat for the people that are being deported. So what is
You're really the only people I have ever gone to bat for are people that have gotten their legal rights immigration. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I've never said anything.
Why you came and
I can't. Like, I really can't.
Did you just call me an imbecile, man? You not know what
You are. You're the shit that yelling at me.
I
don't need to be muted if people are going to talk that way.
I'm pretty sure you guys know about
I owe them Palestine. It's punishable by death.
Were you just
Marshall doesn't even trust like that.
Well, I didn't, but I mean,
Marshall, were you just attending to get data on these?
It's okay. I still don't think it's genocide and human murder. So I believe in equal rights above all.
You know, hold some respect. One mic at a time, all right? Marshall, were you actually in support of the No Kings protest, or were you just getting data on the people there? Because that's two different issues.
I don't attend protests. I've got a bunch of people I know from middle school. They're very nice people. I protect the protest because I'm getting inside. Because I don't advocate Thomas King. I think he's a very powerful executive, and I think the bottom line of powerful executives is the executive office is far too powerful. But Congress keeps abridging its own prerogatives and giving it to the executive, so the president has grown more powerful over 245 years than the office was ever intended to be. My irritation comes from
It's horrible.
It's in charge. I don't see why it has to be personally.
Hold on. Something needs to be said, though, out loud. And that is that all of you candy-ass Republicans that have never done anything for the Republican Party should bow down and kiss Marshall's ass. Marshall's done more for the Republican Party than the rest of you combined. He's done more for the party than all of you combined. Ricky, have you ever knocked a door in your life?
Yes.
Have you ever knocked a door in your life?
Yes, I have.
Wait, hold on. Let's hear about this. Ricky, tell us what it's like knocking doors on a campaign.
And canvassing, please tell us.
Well, I don't know anything about canvassing. I knocked doors for about 3 months in the 2020 election.
Same thing.
I'll pull it for you, Ricky. Come on, tell me.
It's not the same thing. In one case, you're trying to ascertain via canvassing if the vote was correct. In the case of knocking doors for votes.
Whenever you've been out there on the street, that's what we said, boots on the ground.
Yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Marshall contributed to the party that we destroyed and took over and ass raped and made it our own. Now he's gotten better over the last year or so. You know, he's understanding what needed to happen. But before that, he was just like the rest of us. He was completely fooled. Enough to vote against Donald Trump in the 2016 election. So, I don't want to hear it.
The point remains that Marshall Rankin has done more for the Republican Party than all of you candy-ass wannabe Republicans put together.
Look, I'm not doing
No, he doesn't.
Candy ass
It's a fair statement. No, he does not.
I'm a donor that has paid Marshall's paycheck, so I would like to hold him accountable for the decisions he's made within the party.
Oh my God.
Marshall has received votes.
I believe that both parties, okay, are elite, okay? The establishment, the globalist agenda.
Rush, you can't even fucking talk, dog.
I'm just saying there's no
Are you fucking
Like, can we let's not do this.
Yes.
So again, yes, and in more recent terms, over the last decades, yes, Marshall has done more heavy lifting in the Republican Party than I have. I will admit that. I've got a little bit lazy. I mean, if you want to talk about political donation dollars, that's a whole nother conversation. But again, as far as actually showing up with the megaphone, you know what? I'm actually going to take that back. Because was it not the person who bought a megaphone that you guys are so upset about on Clubhouse, and the fact that I was, using that megaphone to argue over you guys because I bought that because of the illegal immigration protests? So Marshall, I was at those protests. I was sitting right on top of my car, and I was yelling, screaming, and saying it till the cows come home. You La Raza Mexicans are not going to push me off my soil. So again, Marshall, it is what it is.
If they beat you up,
Marshall, what's your proudest moment as the Republican?
La Raza will beat your ass.
Or in your political career?
Fuck, they won't. No, the fuck they will not.
One in the runoff in Georgia between Laughlin and Purdue and Warnock and Ossoff, and a voter who yelled at me, then ran down her driveway to apologize to me, and then agreed to vote for Laughlin and Purdue. And then the second one that has been super rewarding with being on my Congresswoman's campaign staff.
Muchas gracias.
That was super.
That's gonna be pretty cool, bro.
No, I ain't gonna lie, Marshall, I fucking idolize you, man.
I just will say that Marshall is probably the nicest and most truest Republican I met. Teller of harsh truths, even to Republicans.
Oh, shut up, Nick.
Marshall, I ain't gonna lie.
I think he wants to make out with Marshall.
But see, I ain't gonna lie, I agree with both of y'all though. But Marshall, you seem like a cool guy. I'm hearing that you know that.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, you seem cool.
I agree too, and he doesn't use a lot of swear words from what I've seen. So when he does, that's why I'm like,
Yeah, did you hear what he said imbecile earlier?
nice shit, anonymous account.
Marshall, I will cuss for you. Just let me know. I got you. I will cuss for you. I'm here.
Did
Marshall, you need to say the N-word. If you need to say the N-word, just say Papa. I got you.
N-word pass?
All right.
Shit, Marshall.
No, he did not
Excuse me, Marshall is black. Like, what are you talking about?
I just want to say you are being lowly from the waist
No, Marshall is definitely black. Marshall is definitely black.
No,
Marshall is a foundational black American. Like, what are you talking about?
He did not get the pass.
Yep. And so is Matt. So is Matt. Yep, we're letting the secret out. No, I'm kidding.
No, I think
Matt, let me find out, man.
With Marshall.
I'm minding my business. I'm at the salad bar getting Mexican food.
I don't think there's anything wrong with Marshall attending the No Kings as long as he's not protesting against Donald Trump, because when you work for the party, they have certain rules that they're not allowed to do things like that, to answer Necro's assertion from a while.
Yeah, I mean, the rules for the Texas Party have changed over time. Like, when I first got involved, Joe, you didn't have to stick by everything RPC believed. You had some latitude on your own beliefs. But the most recent one, and since I'm no longer a precinct chair, I don't have the same responsibility, but you have to support the party in private and in public, the oath says. Now, they make precinct chairs sign that. One other precinct chair, this is 2 years old, so last year, and it not, well, no, it would have been 2 years ago, I had to sign a similar loyalty oath. Didn't say I had to abide by what the party said, but like in private and public, but it did say that Republican-led priorities were something that precinct chairs needed to advertise. So that meant like school choice, views on immigration, stuff I broadly agreed with.
Wait, say that again. Republican priorities or what?
Hold on. There's somebody dropping allegations with your name, Marshall, in the chat. His name is James Bradley.
Did he accuse him?
He is absolutely full of shit.
That's all about
in Houston. I live in McAllen, Texas. He didn't even get the city right.
Hey, James, stop spreading false information, James, you fucking piece of shit.
Alright, that was a good intermission.
Not too much on James.
Yeah, and Marshall's time would be way more clever.
My bad. I ain't mean.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. He trolls a bit, so it's all good, buddy. Yeah.
My bad, James. But can we talk about the fact of, like, we have two freaks right now we're mentioning out here, like two Diddy and fucking goddamn R. Kelly. Like, what the fuck, man?
Marshall just unfollowed me. This is crazy.
Like, what the fuck? Like, what the hell?
No, I didn't unfollow you.
What the hell?
You're new.
What the hell?
You have
Like,
profiles on the actual
I'm saying, bro, like, y'all don't see what's going on in front of my face right now, bro? It's just crazy. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy, bro. Diddy loves being in jail. Keep him there. He's around his people. He loved it.
Why don't you reset the room, Matt? We got some dead air.
I can't. My app is completely shot. It's like
No excuses. Play like a champion, man.
Well, let's open it up to discussion. I don't know if you want to go back to the big, beautiful bill, or I don't know where you want to go, but we can open it up to any kind of discussion like that right now.
Can we talk about how Joe Biden has fell asleep in every press conference he had? Can we talk about that?
We've already passed that.
Oh, we already did? Okay. I must be like...
Where's Joe Biden? He's like gone.
He's right now, we found him sleeping, eating ice cream cones.
Why would we talk about his...
I don't want to waste a second.
If we're going to talk about Joe Biden, I think
He's
it's
in
very
memory.
fascinating to talk about the scandal regarding the auto pen, and then I identified the woman that was doing the auto pen when Biden was signing pardons, and Biden was nowhere in Washington, D.C., he was playing golf. Now, I've asked Abby previously when this discussion has come up, is there any precedents to overturn this stuff regarding the auto pen? We don't know about it. I think it's very fascinating, though. It's one of the most fascinating stories right now regarding the Biden administration.
Well, my bad for bringing this back up, though, but Diddy did bring out all the freaks. I see it, Chloe, I'm telling you. It's fucking wild, man. I can't believe this dude's still fucking a name on the internet. It's crazy.
I think, Gillis, you were trying to jump in there earlier. I don't know, is there a particular topic you want to talk about?
Have you guys discussed Trump announcing that there's going to be a 60-day ceasefire in Gaza?
It's crazy.
Say again, Joe?
No, we haven't. Tell us.
I ain't seen it.
I pinned an article in the chat. Trump is saying that Israel has agreed to a 60-day ceasefire. Now they're just waiting on Hamas, which you all know is not going to agree to it.
What's his name again?
I just wonder, essentially, basically, one of the things that Theo Vaughn brought up that I always wonder about the polls when it comes to MAGA is, like, how do they feel about the fact that seeing that Trump has spent more money in Israel than being done in America right now for American citizens.
Don't you think that's a tab you picked up though? Like it's kind of been ongoing.
Yeah, bro, that's like beyond bullshit. And if I wasn't tired, I'd probably really get into it with you. But it's just annoying, and you're annoying. And to answer you, JB, I don't think they're going to accept it. I think they're only going to accept a ceasefire if it's permanent, not a 60-day. I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to accept it.
But did you see the Saudi component to it is really interesting. If that's true, these sources out of Saudi that are saying that they'll only, sign into the accords if Hamas is removed.
I didn't see that part.
Yeah. I can put some stuff in the chat.
That would actually be pretty huge.
Really huge. But let me find that. I had the conditions of it before. And the amount of hostages, there was something, did you have this? I didn't click on your link. That they would still hold on to eight or 10 living hostages. Would be a full release. But they would release the bodies.
Was this on Al Jazeera?
I'm sorry.
You're a piece. I put an article in the chat if you're interested. By the way, you're a piece. I love you. I think you're amazing.
What's up, JB? I was just trolling for real.
You're one of the best trolls on this app because you don't give a fuck and you always stay level.
Hello.
There's a new update if anyone's app is glitching.
Can I ask you a question about this big, beautiful bill?
Who's going to with this? Is it like what I said about the big, beautiful bill?
What's that?
Is it like what I said, where it's pretty much calling any bill big and beautiful is an insult to the things that are actually big and beautiful?
No, not about that at all. So, I do find it weird though how there was a Build Back Better BBB and that's a big beautiful bill BBB. I don't understand the whole BBB thing.
Wrote a book called Until Two Worlds.
I don't know his books.
This guy was an Iraqi Jew who.
My favorite Iraqi family, a Jewish family named Kaduri. They were, they ended up leaving the whole idea of Zionism, and I think they currently live in Hong Kong or something. They used to be
together as a coalition of other peoples, and I guess when they began to see the new bill actually affect them.
Yeah, to backtrack how we got here.
What's your filter, Abby? It's changed in the top. I did that so I wouldn't, because I was washing my face. What?
I think my app glitched.
Go ahead.
The tax cuts are huge, and this is what's been going on for 40 years out there. I mean, I work on the House floor. I work for Budget and Appropriation Committee. If you want to get a tax cut, damn, they'll do that tomorrow. But you want to cut programs? Oh, no. That's hard. It was like Elon Musk saying, oh, I'm going to get $2 trillion. No, I'll get $1 trillion in cuts. Oh, no, $150 billion. That's a big difference. So that's what happened. They're shoving the money out the door in the form of tax cuts. And, they tried to make up for some of it through cutting Medicaid. And whoever said, like, they're just going to make it harder to get on, that's right. That's exactly how they're going to do it. And, right, wrong, and different.
That means they'll spend less on Medicaid.
True, but not enough to make the Medicaid cuts. I think are estimated at 800 billion. The tax cuts like 3.8 trillion.
But Dragons. Hold on.
Yeah.
Can you mute up for a second?
Sure.
Okay. I just wanted to remind you that. Wait, who the fuck's echoing? There we go. No echoing. No echoing. No echoing. Dragons. Tax cuts aren't spending. Just wanted to remind you.
Well, yeah.
Either one of them are spending.
Well, hold on. So, if I'm just take it down to my house, okay, or your house, or anybody.
No, we don't need to use analogies. Why don't we talk about what we're actually talking about? It's easier to do.
Oh, I can talk about what we're actually talking about all day long.
You're saying it's a loss of revenue.
Yeah, there's a loss of revenue. So now what do you got?
But wait, hold on. Well, let me ask you a question.
Bullshit.
Do you think we have? You think we have a revenue problem, or do you think we have a spending problem?
Yeah, it doesn't follow. Yeah.
We have both.
Wait. The revenue problem is that we're taking in already $5 trillion. The fact that we can't budget with $5 trillion, the fact that we have a $2 trillion a year deficit, and we've ran up $37 trillion in debt, and then when someone comes along and says, "Hey, we think that we're taking too much money from," now it's only part of the problem, right? But the spending is the real issue. The thing that drives me crazy is when people can see the actual issue. They can see that we've overspent, right? They can see that we've overspent, but then they're going to cry when we do things that can stimulate the economy. And if you need an explanation on how tax cuts stimulate the economy, I can do that. It'd probably be too boring for this room, but I can explain that to you if you're not aware of how to.
Well, Roger,
every time there's tax cuts, the economy.
Can I talk?
Every time.
Can I talk? So, Roger, I sat in the room with Kemp. You know who Jack Kemp was, right? You know about him?
Yeah, I know Jack Kemp. I'm old, just like you. Yes.
Stockman, all those guys during the Reagan administration. And this is the same shit they were slinging then, is we're going to quadruple defense spending, we're going to cut taxes, and we won't have to cut anything because we're going to get fraud, waste, and abuse. It's the same song, dude. And you know what? It doesn't work. It doesn't work.
Well, contraire, my friend, it actually does work. Let me ask you this: when you work, do you believe that? Well, I'm going to ask you a question. Do you believe that your money belongs first and foremost to you, or to the government?
Roger, this is a philosophical.
I get it. You don't want to answer the question. Look. Go back.
Do you answer to kill or not?
No, that's fine. That's fine. Dragons. Dragons. You were in the room with Jack Kemp. Go ahead and just go ahead. Get back on your soapbox, and when questions come your way, just keep evading them. That'll help.
I'm not evading anything. You asked me the question: is it my money or the government's money? Well, I'll answer it this way. There's only two things sure in life: death and taxes. So you tell me. I don't want to pay any taxes, but guess what? You have to pay.
Well, hold on. This is where I think you're confused, right? This is where I think you're really confused. Is that the objection that I have is to spending in general. We clearly spend more money than we've taken in, to the tune of $37 trillion. Too much.
Right.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Here's the way that everyone gets out of these problems. Every country that's ever had these, nobody's ever had a problem quite like ours with spending. But anytime that you have a debt and you decide, okay, how do I get out of it?
there's two things that you want to do. Number one, you want to stimulate the economy by putting more money back in the pockets of the taxpayers. This is why tax cuts are good. The other thing that needs to accompany this, and this is why Trumpers and Trump himself are foolish, and it's not going to work. In this case, I still support the tax cuts. The fact is, he doesn't cut spending the way that he should. I mean, if you want an example of how to curb government spending, all you have to do is look to Javier Milei in Argentina. When he got in, there was 19 agencies in the government. The second day in office, there was only 9 left. This is the way that you do it. Trump was on the right track with Doge, right? He was on the right track with Doge, and then he got off track when he realized, well, shit, I owe a lot of fucking people a lot of promises, and so I'm going to go and do what everybody else does, Republican or Democrat, and I'm going to spend like a fucking drunken liberal. That's what Trump's problem is. The tax cut's not the problem. The problem is the spending. And so if you want to critique the spending, that's fine. But if anybody's here to critique the tax cut, you're going to have to explain to me why you believe that the government owns your money before you own your money.
Well, see, Roger, thank you. You admitted that we are spending more money than we're taking in, right?
Correct, by the tune of $2 trillion a year.
Right. And so you be the president tonight. You tell me where you're going to pick up Elon Musk. He's a pretty smart guy. He's a pretty good damn manager. Don't you agree?
You know what I would do? You know what I would do? I would do the thing that you guys are all afraid to even talk about. The number one line item in the budget is Social Security. Number two,
absolutely.
Hold on. Number 2 is Medicare. Number 3 is interest on the debt. Now, the interest on the debt is only as high as it is because of Social Security and Medicare. So until somebody grows the balls to cut Social Security and cut Medicare, this problem is not going to be solved.
Well, Roger, you're forgetting one other thing. You're forgetting one other thing, which is very interesting. The Pentagon is you.
Hold up.